You generally build muscle more easily with free weights than with machines, because the body responds to something that is heavy more fully than resistance, which is merely hard. In fact, our bodies have evolved over millions of years to recognize and deal with weight. But little in our evolutionary history has prepared the body for pushing a resistance that slides back and forth along a track or rotates on a cam. When you lift a free weight against the force of gravity, not only do you use the specific muscles involved in the lift, but the rest of the body gets involved as well. The joints have to work to balance and control the weight, and the various stabilizer muscles associated with the joint come under stress as well. When you exercise with many machines, there's no need to stabilize, no need for the ligaments of the joints to adapt, and you tend to work only the muscle involved in that specific movement, not the associated stabilizer muscles. This results in much less adaptation and in fact can be dangerous because you've developed certain muscles in a group out of proportion to the others. So when it comes to basic mass and strength development, free weights are far superior.
I myself am a firm believer in free weights, heavy free weights for building mass. Low repetitions, not too low, where you're just going to pump out 4 or 5 and then just drop the weight. You want heavy weights and good repetitions, good muscle control, and plenty of protein to build that mass with. Free weights, free weights are it. Basic heavy movements is the way I consider it. That's what I've always used, basic heavy movements to build size, not to get into contest shape per se, but you have to have the frame there to carve it out.
In my opinion, it's a lot better to use a free weight than using a machine in general, because the free weights, your body responds a lot better to your free weight, because it's like you can keep your natural movements in, and the body is built to use free weights, not to use machines. So your body responds a lot better, plus your nervous system, everything is very much in action. So your body growth is much more stimulated than using a machine.
But machines and cables can also be valuable. They work well when you want to isolate specific areas of the body. They are also effective when you're doing higher rep training, in which the stress of an individual repetition is not as important as the cumulative effect of a number of repetitions. For example, supersets, trisets, and giant sets, as described in tape 9. Exercise machines are also essential when resistance training is being used to rehabilitate injuries, as described in tape 10. When you're recovering from an injury, having the injured area securely stabilized as you build up its strength is one of the keys to successful rehabilitation.
You still should use machines maybe to isolate some muscle groups, and altogether makes the whole package, so you need it both.
Yet it's not the hardware development that's created the tremendous progress in our ability to develop the body. It's the software, the training principles and techniques, which you'll learn about as part of the Weider system.
Later tapes will deal with all sorts of advanced Weider intensity principles, but there are certain basic principles that you should learn and employ right from the beginning. The first is full range of motion. During each of your exercises, you need to go from the full extension of the muscle to the full contraction and back. Don't settle for working in a partial range of motion. At the top of the movement, try pausing and squeezing the muscle a little harder to obtain a full peak contraction. Second, control the weight. Never throw a weight around. Don't get careless. Just learn to concentrate and keep total control of the weight in every rep of every set. Third, no cheating. Cheating in weight training refers to using extra muscles or techniques like swinging the weight up using inertia to help perform the lift. Instead, lift and lower the weight using the specific muscles involved in that lift, with no help from other muscles and no cheating.
I don't cheat. I don't use cheating principles. Sometimes I will when I'm weaker and I'm dieting and I'm not feeling really energy. I'll need to cheat a little bit because I don't have a trainer or someone that helps me.
Fourth, continuous tension. When you lift or lower a weight, you should feel your muscles working smoothly throughout the whole range of motion. This means not only lifting the weight under control to a position of peak contraction, but lowering the weight under control as well, rather than letting it drop.
Throughout the movement, you keep the tension on that body part, so you never really lock out, because a lot of times when you lock out, you could stay in that position for quite some time. There's no pain there. So what you want to do is keep the tension on that body part.
Fifth, keeping the mind in the muscle. Remember, you're training muscles, not lifting weights. Don't think about the weight, think about the muscle and what it's doing.
It's very important to mentally prepare yourself before going to a gym for a workout. If you're going to a gym to fraternize, then I wouldn't worry about mentally preparing yourself. But when you go to a gym to work out, which is what you should be doing, you have to concentrate, especially on the muscle that you're working. There's a mind-muscle link there where your body is going to react the way your mind feels. If you feel up for a workout, then you're going to get a great workout. If you feel lackadaisical and you don't really want to go to the gym, then there's no way you're going to get a good workout. So mentally preparing for a workout is just as important as stretching or anything else you would do to get ready.
And finally, training to failure. Failure in a bodybuilding set is not the same as exhaustion. It means you've gotten to the point where you can't do one more rep with that particular weight in that set.
It takes more effort to stop and think about each and every repetition than it does to just say, okay, I'm going to do 12 repetitions with this super heavy weight, and all you're thinking about is moving that weight. You're not thinking about, let's say if you're doing squats, thinking about your quadriceps, okay, in the first repetition, and thinking about the movement on the way up and the movement going down. And when you're really thinking about it, then the chances of injury are slim, and the chances of that muscle responding is even better, because you're really concentrating. So I think that's what the key is, and that's what's most important.
Bodybuilding, when it's done properly, involves learning a lot of skills. So it's going to pay for your success to learn those skills properly from the very beginning.